who's the heavyweight champion of the world. George Foreman. For the best in sports and sports personalities, when I am in Washington, D.C., I check out my good friend Harold Bell and Inside Sports. Talking about a real champion, Harold Bell and Inside Sports.
For many fans of the sweet science of boxing, the head rat has long been Don King, a one-time numbers runner and street punk who served jail time for manslaughter. King has been called a ghetto Machiavelli, a high-stakes hustler, a celebrity promoter who has guided the careers, some say victimized, boxing stars from Muhammad Ali to Mike Tyson. And with us in Washington, Harold Bell, a pioneer in the field of sports talk radio and TV. Mr. Bell has known Don King for more than 20 years.
Hi, this is Don King of Don King Productions for the undisputed champion of sports talk. You must turn to my man, Harold Bell, and the original Inside Sports. For the best in sports and sports personalities, Inside Sports and Harold Bell are knockout.
Hey, this is Captain Hollins, the heavyweight champion of the 20-round world. I want all of you to check out Inside Sports with my main man, Harold Bell. Inside Sports, it's a knockout.
And now, from the playing field of Banneker to the locker room of RFK Stadium, it's Inside Sports with your host, Harold Bell. Give Harold a call at 462-3313, 462-3313.
Okay, welcome to the Legends of Inside Sports, and I am your host, Harold Bell. Today we have a very special show and a very special guest. We're going to be traveling down to Atlantic City, and I'm talking about Atlantic City, Atlanta, Georgia, to talk to a very, very special human being. And what I want to do right now, I want to introduce him to you, and we got a very special guest who's going to introduce him. Okay, her name is Karen Greer. Okay, hold on.
At Giant, we know that quick meals are a part of life. So our grab-and-go salads, sandwiches, and snacks are completely new. We're using better ingredients to bring you quick meals to match your busy schedule. See for yourself. At Giant, we're ready.
One of our own here at CBS 46 is being recognized by the Atlanta Braves as a community hero. John Hollins, who we know as a hard-working account executive, was honored for bringing baseball to underserved Atlanta youth.
You turn your body, you follow that shift, okay?
John Hollins is passionate about a lot of things, but helping kids achieve is where his heart is.
Good job. We just want these kids to believe and keep playing hard.
As director of ATL Metro RBI, he spends weekdays and weekends coaching young men to success through competitive baseball.
You stay down, you make the throw.
RBI stands for Reviving Baseball in the Inner City.
See him to get better. That's the one promise that I've always given. That if you stay with me, I promise you'll get better. And so far, God has blessed me with that has been every kid.
But the focus goes beyond making the game accessible. It's also about teaching technique and skill, but more importantly, mentoring kids to pursue a college education.
He has put kid after kid in college.
His son, John Hollins III, coaches right alongside him.
Literally, he does it for those kids to go to college. He wants to see black ball players and just black youth get an education because, you know, that's a stepping stone for to move on in society.
A team player on the job here at CBS 46.
Work that.
John has made a career out of community service. He served as the DeKalb chapter president of the 100 Black Men of America and mentored hundreds of youth, often sacrificing family time.
This is just something I love. There you go. There's so many people out there doing so many amazing things that I just thank God that I wake up in the morning and able to put 2 feet on the ground and make a difference. Look at that.
Out on the field, John is tough, says Gene Canega, a volunteer coach.
If a player does something that's not etiquette-wise or technique-wise, he calls them right out. He'll do that. But once that kid does something that's right, he's right there lifting him up.
13 players have gone on to play professional baseball, including Kyle Lewis of the Seattle Mariners and Cedric Mullins of the Baltimore Orioles. The program relies on volunteers to run about 20 teams, from coaching to strength training. Each year, the Braves donate uniforms, and it's these partnerships that allow RBI to keep enrollment fees low.
That day I hit a home run off.
Bert Strain, a former minor league player, says John's enthusiasm convinced him to sign up to coach this year.
The kids love him. He's definitely a community hero because his guys, you're not going to see his guys on your news channel doing crazy stuff. See, John's stuff is going to be bringing some kids to medical school, law school.
I love it. At last night's Braves game, John was presented with a check for $5,000 to help ATL Metro RBI. We're so proud of it.
Okay. Welcome back to the Legends of Inside Sports. I'm your host, Harold Bell. And by now, you know my special guest lives in Atlanta, Georgia. He's an account executive for CBS 46. And, you know, we're always talking about superstars in the NBA, superstars in the NFL, superstars in the National Hockey League, and, of course, superstars in Major League Baseball, which brings to mind right now, as I'm talking, they're getting ready to play an outstanding World Series between the LA Dodgers and the Boston Red Sox. And the Dodgers are down 3-1. And they gave it away last night because, you know, no lead is safe with Boston. So now the Dodgers find themselves down 3-1 in a must-win tonight. When I say we're talking about superstars in pro sports, we got to think about the superstars in the game called life. And I have one of them superstars on Legends of Inside Sports tonight. And I'd like to welcome to the Legends of Inside Sports, Big John Hollins. How you doing, John?
Yeah, man, thank you so much. I'm doing fine. How about yourself?
Hey, man, I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed. I got up this morning. That's what it's all. That's what it's all about.
Just get on the ground, still breathing and still moving, man. I told you the last time we talked, and I'm not going to elaborate on it, but you know, when I was in my early teens, I wanted to be a professional baseball player.
Right.
When I was in my late 20s, I wanted to be a millionaire. Now that I'm in my middle 50s, I just want to be like Harold Bell. Get up every morning at 7 years old, have my right mind, have my right heart, and as Jose Williams used to say, unbossed and unbossed.
All right. All right. Thank you for those kind words, John. John, tell me about what's your purpose in life? You know, your purpose in life. You know, like you say, you wanted to be a whole lot of things, a Major League Baseball player, then a millionaire. And what is your purpose in life from where you're sitting now, John?
You know, Harry, I'm glad you asked me that because, you know, I've had people, before I answer that question, I'm going to share something with you. I've had people ask me, say, you helped so many kids become successful, and we want to know why. And I had to think about it. Because first of all, the credit goes to God. It doesn't go to me.
That's right.
But you have to think about what are you doing that's different from other people. And I realized that everybody's hitting ground balls, everybody's hitting fly balls, and they're putting them in games. But I spend time on the bench talking to these kids about life, about having a purpose in their life, about living their life in a manner that is pleasing to God. I realize that this is my ministry. Though I don't preach, and I am a Christian, I believe in God, but I don't preach. What I do is I try to teach the preachings of the word. You know, I believe every man and woman should live a purpose life. That purpose should not be defined by others, but defined by God and you. Find out what it is that wakes you up in the morning and puts you to sleep at night that does not benefit you physically or financially in any way. When you know what that is, you will find your purpose. And that's what I found. See, becoming a professional baseball player would have benefited me because I wanted the fame and the fortune. I ended up playing baseball until I was 47. Competitively in MSBL, won MVPs, All-Stars. And so it wasn't about playing the game I learned. It was because I wanted the fame. You know, I've had great jobs and great opportunities in business investment. Never amounted to the $1 million that I had in my mind because it wasn't my passion. You know, it just, you know, something I wanted. So there would be an end to the means. If I could get that money, then I could go do what I really wanted to do. So I found that in life, my purpose is out there
there on that ball field, working with those kids, working with young people, sharing some of the pitfalls that I've had in my life, trying to help kids understand that they are our future, that, you know, the opportunity in life is right there in front of you, but hard work, dedication, determination. So the thing that I found that is consistent about kids that become successful is accountability. Whether I'm working with a rich kid, that their parents let them come play with us because they feel like what I'm doing is what they want to be a part of, and they invest in it, and they give me money to help the program, and they let their kid come play. Those boys end up being successful. They make them accountable. They make them realize that every man's the same, that just because you're leaving a $2 million house and coming to play with these kids from the hood, you're not better than them. You know, when we do sleeping arrangements, hitting arrangements, I put them together. I make them get to know each other. The reason why is because my dad taught me that no man is better than any other man, that all men are equal in the eyes of God. No matter what you have, it is about the character of the man that makes you special. And so I teach that to the kids. So that lesson is being taught to the players, those that the Kyle Lewises of the world, the Jason Rogers that are playing in Japan, the Curtis Terry that plays for the Texas Rangers, who won the MILB home run derby. They told him he wasn't good enough. They told his mom he never could make it. He asked me, should he play football because he's a big kid. I said, he's one of the best hitters I ever seen. Let's work on agility and keep telling him he can play. He's going to be all right. You know, the Rangers see him as probably 2 years away from the major leagues now. I mean, you know, it's in your head. It's a head game. And you and I both know that.
Yeah.
And, you know, you think about my purpose. I'm putting you on blast because I think God puts us in the path of people for a reason. And that path may not be for a reason that is beneficial to you. God has put you in my path to allow you to give me the necessary inspiration and vibrance to go out and keep doing what I'm doing. Because I know that you've touched a lot of people. And I wish there was a way that I could turn that knowledge, that wisdom, and that time that you put in other people into some type of financial gain that I could send up to you. But more importantly, you made me rich with knowledge. You made me rich with inspiration. You made me rich with character, because I know that when I talk to you, I'm talking to a man who believes in what he says. It doesn't mean that you're always right, Harold. I know you think you are. It doesn't mean that you're always right. It means that you believe that you're right, and you believe in what you're saying, and you mean what you say. You're transparent. You're a man of your word. And to that transparency, Cedric Mullins, one of my kids, his brother actually played for me. He played one tournament for me, and I always call him one of mine, but the other kids played for 2, 3, and 4 years for me. But I know his parents and he wouldn't matter. But for me, I want to be clear on that, because I don't make this up. You know, God has blessed me to be able to coach these kids, you know, have 2 doctors, 2 lawyers. You know, these kids have gone on 87 to go to college. I don't know countless how many was first-time college students in their family. Nobody in their family had ever gone. And now these kids graduate with honors. One coach is with us. You know, hey, he's an excellent coach. He was a SIAC Black College Player of the Year in 2010, and now he's a great businessman. And these are the things that we're trying to do, because the divide is education. It's not economics, because you can give a guy $1 million if he doesn't know how to spend it. It doesn't get sent back into the community. It doesn't touch the community hands. It doesn't do all those things. Those things got to be taught by somebody to explain to kids the importance of giving back to your community.
Oh, you know, John, one of the things that I'm always talking about, and I've experienced it, is that when you work with people, and young people especially, there are a lot of spiritual rewards, very few financial rewards. But I've learned in my life that the spiritual rewards are more important, man, because they inspire you to go on to do the things that you want to do. And that, you know, when you help other people, John, you help yourself.
I agree. I mean, you know, it's amazing on the people that you touch, and you don't even know it, and people stop you, and they say, you Coach Hollins, you Harold Bell, you may not remember me, but this, and this, and they draw you memory.
That's right.
You remember that kid, and you remember saying maybe 2 words
And I had being a member of the 100 Black Men of America, I had one of the members in another state. I can't remember what state it was. He said, "Man, I ran into a kid that knew you, and he said he's there in college because of you. Now I don't even know this kid." He said you spoke to his class, and it beat me up inside. I can remember somebody I touched that significantly, but that's when you know. What did we say when we started this conversation? It's not you.
Yeah.
It's God using you. So God knew He touched that person. God knew what I needed to say out of my mouth in order to make a difference in that person's life. He was getting ready to join the game. He was getting ready to change his life to a different level. But somehow something that came out of my mouth made him think differently. Made him think that there's an opportunity, that he can make it, that he doesn't have to go in another route. And so if you're pure in your thoughts and pure in what you do, you have no conviction. You know, hey, I love to raise money for my program. That's my biggest weakness. You know, I make money for billion-dollar companies, and I make money for. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yes, I'm listening.
Okay, and I make money for other charities, but when it comes to mine, I can't ask because I feel like it's a gift from God. You know, and I don't. I guess if people make donations, then I'm happy. But I put all dimes and all dollars towards the kids and towards the volunteers that help me. I take nothing. Right. And as long as I can continue to do that, I will. Because the more I can put into the kids, the better opportunities they get. We're trying to do a trip to Puerto Rico, Harold. We want to take them down to play the RBI Major League Baseball players that are 15 and under in Puerto Rico. And that's going to take an undertaking. And I'm going to reach out to a lot of people. But if you got people that are listening and can donate to www.atlmetrorbi.org, it'll be greatly appreciated. But if they can't, their prayers will guide the right people in our direction.
Right. You know, John, my wife and I are talking about spiritual rewards. We get them all the time. Every time we go out in the street, because Hattie is a former school teacher in the D.C. public school system here in Washington, D.C. and Prince George's County. So we got married like in 1968, and it'll be 50 years next month. We've been married. And every time we go out in the street, somebody is stopping us, man, saying thank you. And that is what inspires me even now, John, is to keep on doing what I'm doing. We did 45 straight years of Christmas toy parties for needy children. In 1968, we started right after the rise. And we never got a grant or a loan, John. But what happened, my Santa helpers were guys on the street, the hustlers and stuff. They saw what I was doing, man. So every year they made sure that I had toys or money for those kids. And they would leave envelopes at restaurants around the city for me to pick up money for the kids. So I know it's tough, man. I have never really been able to raise any money for kids in trouble. And it's a shame because I think about all the people that I done touched, man. These pro athletes, media personalities, we don't come back to help each other, John. You're living in a city where you got the Atlanta Braves, the NBA basketball team there, Major League Baseball. These black athletes, man, have got to reach back to help others. And these are tax write-offs for them, John. I've never been able to convince these athletes, man, to give back, man, to understand how to give back. I understand what you're going through. You're having financial constraints, but you should not be having financial constraints until we learn to help each other, man. We're going to keep ourselves in this bind.
Let me tell you this, in fairness to some of these athletes, what happens is it's the same thing as crooked financial investors and financial analysts. They get to these guys because their whole game is to get to these guys. My game, your game is to help the kids. So I asked you one time, two times, you know, I figure you don't want to, or you just don't have it, or you got other plans, and I'm okay with that. These guys stay on them. I mean, you know, it's like that lady that sits on the corner with her baby in a fake pregnancy and say, "Can you feed me? Hungry?" And when you finish collecting $700-800, she go get in the Cadillac around the corner. Says, "Brother, I've seen it it happen.
Oh yeah, I have
I've
to.
seen it happen.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, but they on their game. They on their hustle game, and they about getting that money. When these other, it's a lot of programs that they claim to be about helping the kids, but they only use the kids to pimp for money.
That's
And
right.
they use the money to better their lives. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't have time to do that. I work a full-time job. I actually practice with the kids and get out there. So raising money, I don't have time when I need to spend more time raising money and helping the kids where they can go and get away from it. But back to what we talked about before, my ability to hit ground balls and hit fly balls and draw up a lineup is not where my strength is. My strength is being around those kids, interjecting life into those kids.
Mm-hmm.
In order for me to do that, I got to spend time with those kids.
That's
While
right.
I'm spending time, I'm not raising money.
Mm-hmm. John.
And that program that is raising money, they let other people play with the kids. They come out and say, hey, I'm ex-pro ball player, I'm ex this, I'm ex that, and I'm going to coach the kids. Give me some money. Once they get the money, they're not around the kids. They with the politicians and the business owners raising money.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they do. Go play golf with them, and so they get money. And their program flourishes as far as financial, but I don't see the same thing from the kids.
All right. John, how important is it that you have your son working in this program with you, man? I think that is fabulous.
Well, you know, I think you know, Harry, my son is an attorney.
Mm-hmm.
Played baseball in Florida, and then when he got his law degree at Mercer University after the Washington Nationals, flew him up to Morgantown, Virginia, worked him out, and decided not to draft him. And so he could have went and played European ball, but he said, you know, Dad, you know, my second love was to become a lawyer and be able to help people do a lot of pro bono work and things of that nature. And I thought he was just saying that. Well, he's a public defender. Has been recruited by a lot of firms, but he deals in public defense. Has been recruited to go to the prosecution side because he's won so many cases. He turned them down. He said, hey, I feel like right now God wants me to help people. So that's kind of what I do. And he comes out there to coach. And he's a living example of playing in the program. They can touch and feel a young man that did just as they did, and now he has a law degree and he's practicing law and enjoying his life. And he ain't chasing dollars, and he still makes a good living. He's chasing the goal of being a lawyer and helping people that are less fortunate. And so it makes me super proud to answer your question.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, abundantly. I mean, you know, this is where God blesses you abundantly, you know, 10 times over. That you sit there and see that and you go, man, a lot of my buddies' sons are dead, they're in trouble, and it ain't their fault. They were good parents. It's just sometimes life gets in the way. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting here with my son and, you know, and coaching and watching him flourish. And I just thank God because it could be anything. And, you know, I just feel like I'm blessed. More than money. You could give me $1 million and give me those problems, and I give you the $1 million back and take those problems away and make my children's lives and the kids that I work with lives be better. Then no money is worth it. I don't, as you told me earlier, what's my price? Now you don't have a price. You know, you don't have both of them.
I know it.
Sure, they think everybody got one. Ain't nobody hit mine yet, you know?
Yeah, I understand exactly what you're. In fact, what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna take a little break here, and I'm going to see if I can earn some cash with my new book. I got a new book out called Harold Bell's Walk Through American Sports History with Champions and Chumps. And you can see the reviews, and to purchase my book, you can go to blackmeninamerica.com, click on my photo, and scroll down the page. And you can purchase the book and see what other folks are saying about it. This is my story. This book introduced who Harold Bell is. I don't want to say that people know who I am, but my legend has spread around the world thanks to social media. But this is my book. It was 5 years in the making. So just remember Harold Bell's Walk Through American Sports History with Champions and Chumps. I appreciate it if you go and purchase a book. John, I want to say this, man, that what you are doing with these young kids, black kids, is so important. Do you realize that in Major League Baseball, black Americans are few and far in between playing Major League Baseball now?
I know. And I'll tell you how um, it's because of a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
But majority reason, I don't believe, based on my experience and working with Major League Baseball and the Braves,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's because baseball don't want blacks in baseball. I think baseball has become so technical and so expensive
That's right.
that the black kid can't play unless somebody is willing to give them something to help them out. So, like I said, I'll go back to some of these other programs. They get the black kids, they raise the money, but it's so expensive to train and get them in these tournaments that they focus on them getting in school, period, and they really don't perfect their craft. I do them both. I spend the time, we won the Triple Crown national qualifier 3 weeks ago, going up against $1 million program, indoor facility.
Mm-hmm.
Kids to pay $3,000 and $4,000 a year to play on those teams. We beat them all.
Wow.
We beat all of them. And when I say we beat them all, we beat all the top. And so that tells you right there that with Bert Strand, 3-time drafted, Arizona Diamondback scout from Oakland, that said he had to find me because I'm a legend in California. I said, man, you lying. He said, no, man, John, brothers like you ain't out there no more. And I want to find you. He said, I'm going to work with you. And I said, come on. And he's been a godsend. Gene Naga is a Hawaiian and Irish guy who mother left him when he was young. And his grandmother, I think, or aunt had to raise him. And so you and I both know he grew up like a black man, though he may not be black.
Mm-hmm.
He had everything against him because he said, hey, on my mom, he said she was Hawaiian. And they said blacks over there, whites over there, so she couldn't go to the bathroom at all. How you make that feel? He said, I saw that. Well, he was in Hawaii, and his brother's team won the RBI World Series, and he saw the Atlanta team and knew he was moving to Atlanta, found me.
Wow.
I said, come on. Come on and work with us. He's been a godsend. Like I say, the coaches that we have, my son was Sunshine State All-Conference, lifetime batting average of 326. Corey Bryant, SIAC Player of the Year, 400 batting average, 2010. I got great people around these kids. They pay $3,000 and $4,000 down here in the South to play on a team like ours. We charge $125.
Wow.
And we raise money for each game and tournament, and we make it work. And I'm just proud of the coaches and the time that they put in. And I try to make sure I give them gas money, lunch, meal money, just something for their time being out there.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, a couple of them say, you don't have to give me anything, but I mean, my dad told me you got to give a man something. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I appreciate you because, like I said, you're giving me a voice to let people know that we're out here trying to train these kids. The same guy that I'm working with, Bert Strand, I'm going to tell you what his RBI team consisted of 20 years ago, 15 years ago. I don't know if it's 2015. C.C. Sabathia, Jimmy Rollins, Dontrell Willis. He was their coach out in California. Now you're here.
Wow.
And so think about the opportunity these boys have. That's why I'm trying to get them. We won that Triple Crown. I'm trying to get them to Puerto Rico. Frank Robinson runs the RBI program now, and he's trying to incorporate ex-Major League Baseball players of color, get more involved in the community by giving them, opportunities and also helping them get kids to the next level through the Breakthrough Series and through advanced development institution. I may have said that incorrectly, but it's both sponsored by Major League Baseball, and they pay for the kids' way, they pay for everything. But the problem, Harold, is now you got all these ex-pro ball players, they getting involved just so they're getting kids into the Breakthrough Series, and these kids' parents are giving them money. So now a guy like me, this was the best thing I had going because you don't have money, but if you play with me,
I give you an opportunity to do something that would cost a lot of money. Now it's hard to get my kids in, you know, because anytime you deal with something that great, I mean, those guys in Breakthrough Series and Elite Development Institution, man, they do an awesome job in developing these kids and training them. So everybody wants to get their kid there, white, black, green, purple. And so, you know, it's not quite what it was made out to be right now, but hopefully it'll get back in line. Who knows? But, you know, all I can do is just keep trying, brother.
Yeah. Well, you know, one of the other things I wanted to bring to your attention too, as we talk about the lack of Black American baseball players. Well, you look around the major leagues, John. We have very few black managers. I think we may have two, maybe three black managers, and we know there's a lot of capable managers out there. And just think about Frank Robinson, how he got the short end of the stick. Think about Dusty Baker, how he was run out of Washington last year after he had taken the team to the playoffs the first 2 years. So I'm saying, you know, we don't want to play the race card. I don't want to play the race card. But something is wrong with that type of thinking that you got a guy like Frank Robinson, who now, of course, went to a Major League Baseball also, became a part of that, heading the RBI program. He probably could be still managing a team. We know Dusty Baker could still be managing a team. When I think about Jackie Robinson and the sacrifices, John, that he made and died at such an early age, man, because there was so much stress on him, man, trying to be the man that he always wanted to be. And when I think about Jackie Robinson trying to open a museum in New York in his name, and they got to get out there and hustle money to get the museum open, man. That is not fair, man. That is definitely not fair.
Jackie Robinson is probably one of the greatest men to ever live.
That's
and
right.
Not because of his baseball.
That's right.
Because, you know, my dad got signed by the Cincinnati Reds right before they started drafting players, and he wouldn't go. And it broke my grandfather's heart. But he said, son, I didn't go because I wasn't Jackie. I wasn't going to be able to put up with them spitting at me and throwing rocks on the field at me. He said, man, I shot one of them. They had to put me in jail because I was just that big of a fool. And so I didn't want to go to jail. I already done the military down in Texas, and I had to go overseas because I almost killed a sergeant that came in and dumped me out my bed. He said, so I knew me. He said, but you know, Jackie sacrificed what they thought was for them to be able to. He said, let me tell you how they worked. He said it wasn't about getting blacks in baseball. It was about destroying black baseball because it had become more popular than white baseball. So they needed to destroy it, and by destroying it, they made their sport better because when they would barnstorm and all season, they couldn't beat Satchel Paige. They couldn't beat those guys. And so they said we need to get the best of those to come play with us, and that way we dilute their league.
That's right.
And so they did that. But that was management. The players wanted to keep it separated, but management wanted to do it. And Jackie, so they thought, would help them achieve their goal because he was an intellectual one, but Jackie changed America. He didn't just change them being able to destroy black baseball. He changed the image of the black man because he was more intelligent, had more resolve, had more wisdom, had more understanding and patience than the white man ever had. And we're not supposed to be able to be that person. And Jackie exemplified greater than what they had seen, to the point where many of his white players and white friends got just sick of the other players acting the way they acted. Like, you know, I've heard that we this bad, but I ain't never really seen it. It's kind of like Martin Luther King when they had to start putting soldiers out there. They said, you know, they sticking dogs in water holes. These white folks crazy. You know, they don't claim they know that people do that until they really do it. When they thought Jackie would just be an end to a means, but what he did was he changed America.
He sure did.
Because he changed the view of who we are. Because if I tell your daughter, if I tell your son that he's an animal, that he really has the tail and he hides it in his hand, and he looks different, and I keep him oppressed, so he's always angry, then you see the angry side, and you believe Dad was right. And so you may not have a prejudice bone in your body. I mean, when I say prejudice to prejudge, everybody has that, but you may not be a bigot, but you have already been conditioned to think a certain way. Jackie changed the whole country of how to think about us. You know, Josh Gibson wouldn't have put up with it, you know, but he was the man. God made him the man.
All right. You know, there are always folks that you wish you had interviewed, and I never really had any heroes, but I always had people that I admired and respected. And right up the top of that list is Jackie Robinson, Paul Robeson, Jack Johnson. Those folks I wish I could have interviewed. You know, I guess in a way I got the best of it all because I became friends with Muhammad Ali. You know, a very astute individual and a man that cared dearly about his people. We don't have them like that anymore. So I'm always reading and much as I can get about Jackie Robinson, about Paul Roseback, Jack Johnson. I want to make sure, man, that I keep those people in front of me because they are the ones that are still inspiring me today, along with Malcolm X, along with Dr. Martin Luther King, man. We got to teach our young people, man, that our ancestors were kings and queens and not hooligans and thugs, man. We come from a great people, man, and our young people are not aware of that.
Exactly. I mean, they think of Jackie Robinson, they think of baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so he was the first black man to play baseball. Okay, so what? Because they see blacks interacting with whites and they understand the whole history behind what he had to put up with and deal with in order to make it possible. What he thought he was doing was creating an opportunity for those, but he opened up doors for blacks in offices. He opened up doors for blacks driving trucks. He opened up doors for blacks delivering milk because he just showed them that he can put up with the bullshit and still get his job done. When a lot of people cannot put up with that because, hey, everybody could have been Jack. Everybody could have been him.
Mm-hmm.
And God put the right person in place. And that's why I say, God put you in my path and he showed me that if I live my life in a manner that is pleasing to God, then I'm looking at myself who he is. But he also taught me some things that I can change along the way. And so, brother, I appreciate you. You don't know, the talks that we've had, the conversations have been very fruitful. And, I love your candidness. I love your transparency. And like you said, we ain't playing the race car, we play the real car.
That's right.
And the real car says that it ain't fair. But I always tell my kids, ain't nothing fair. I said, it should be, but it ain't nothing fair. But what is fair is when they put your faith in God, doing it right, stay in life. He'll get you through stuff that you didn't think you could get through. He'll turn miracles around them. You got to give him the praise.
Yeah.
So I give him the praise for allowing me to meet you, man, and I give you the praise for allowing me to put my program out there. ATL Metro RBI.
Yeah, well, John, I definitely want to thank you for taking time out to be here on the Legends of Inside Sports, man. And it seems like we've been knowing each other forever, man, because it's so comfortable talking to you because it's honest talk. It's not one playing someone against each other, man. That we're trying to figure out a way how we can help and support each other and help our people at the same time. So I want to thank you, man, and say keep up the great things that you're doing. And folks, if you want to see the story on John, you can Google him at CBS 46 Community Hero. John, you're definitely my hero, and keep on doing the great things that you're doing, John. You got the last word. And I want all of you to remember that my new book, Harold Bell's Walkthrough American Sports History with Champions and Chumps, and you can go to blackmeninamerica.com and see the reviews, and hopefully you might purchase a book. Thank you. Until next time, remember that every black face you see is not your brother, and every white face is not your enemy. I'm Harold Bell, and you can color me gone.